Okay, it's on.
Alright. Welcome, ladies and gents. Little review video we decided to put together to voice our compliments and concerns to D.
Both of
Go
them?
ahead and initiate it. Well, you know, you gotta give them some incentive, let them know they're doing a good job on some things, and not so good a job on certain other things. Frost. Cough, cough.
Oh yes,
Puke.
Ross. I don't know who has time to make a sandwich while the bubble's up, but that is the worst sandwich in history. It has to be. Sorry. With my frost bubble up, I didn't have time to go down to the kitchen to get a soda, so... yeah.
I was like, as far as I'm aware,
Worst excuse
aside
ever.
from potential duration extension mods, like the corrupted one, I never used that on mine, but mine lasted about 38 seconds. Now, unless you're right next to the kitchen when you put a bubble up, you gotta, well, it's gonna be tough.
A bit, yeah.
I mean, now, instead of being able to leave the pod, like I'd love to do, put up a bubble, not have to worry about it, slaughter stuff.
Yeah.
You know, things died. Now I have to sit there and make sure my bubble doesn't go down. It really sucks to not be able to move anymore.
Yeah, I would prefer... Now you actually have to sit there as a frost. Because if your bubble runs out, then you have to put another one up. You can't just leave it there and actually go kill things. It's actually quite boring.
I think it actually had the reverse effect they intended. And most people are like, oh, we have to sit on the pod all the time. No, not if you're a moderately intelligent psychopath. I mean, space butcher. Sorry.
Yeah, well now I have to sit on it because I'm relying on that bubble to be there while I'm gone, and it's not, then like, oh, you failed the mission. Oh, that's lovely.
That's nice, you know. Just walked away for 6 seconds and bubble's gone. Yay. Best part was when it wasn't at where it currently is, which still sucks, but before that, when it was really bad, you could put it up on a tier 3 defense. I tried it. It was down almost before the shield was actually up.
Wow.
It was terrible. It had so little health and, you know, defense that it was just gone. Now, if the shield had, you know, a much larger health and allowed us to leave the pod for a longer period of time, then that'd be pretty tight. Or, as I saw one person suggest, blocks all incoming fire from both sides. That way you actually have to leave the bubble in order to kill things outside of it.
That would make more sense.
That would be a good solution.
I do like that.
I like the idea of the dark rails as well, but honestly poorly executed. I mean, one mega clan or alliance, which they did restrict it, could just hold it indefinitely. I mean, it's like, if you're a ghost clan, you've got nothing.
Well, most
no
people
chance.
just care about the battle pay, and it's just like, you offer somebody battle pay, it's like, yeah, you know, we can charge an arm and a leg afterwards. As long as we do battle pay, people will fight for us. And it's like, I don't know, there's so many options, I'm not gonna fight for them anyway. Like, somebody who doesn't charge much or doesn't charge at all, I'd rather go
I'd
there.
gladly defend their zones.
Yeah.
What I did too, it's those ones that were charging nothing. It's like, oh, let's go defend them so we can keep our stuff instead of
Charging
these other
nothing.
guys who want to charge 50%.
Disregard Lotus, acquire Plat. I remember that one.
I think Eclipse might be one of the few that remained. They didn't keep to their 0 tax, but they kept it low-ish.
Ish.
It still counts tax anywhere near where the current U.S. government has it set at. It's being too high.
Yeah.
Count 5% as being too high. Theirs is around 10-ish, depending. And you had some concerns regarding the new arcane cosmetics and such.
Well, the whole point for me hunting and wanting a different helmet was because, oh, you know, of what effect is it going to have? And now, there's just no point. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the default model, and I have no reason to buy or, you know, wait for the alert on a helmet that does nothing. It looks different, and big deal. That's how I feel about it. I mean, it doesn't help my Warframe in any way. There's no point in me going out of my way to obtain it now. And I have blueprints backed up, ready to build for the old helmets, which are now arcane, I guess. I'll keep those. I'll use those ones, interchange them as, you know, I need their effects one way or the other, but I'm not getting rid of them. I mean, I waited for a long time to get the helmets that I have, you know?
And then there's that little snippet that you pointed out that indicates that DE might, you know, force out the helmets if the community doesn't choose to remove it.
Well, it's the way they worded it. It's like, I spent all that time waiting for those. I want to keep them.
It's like, yeah, my Princess Leia helmet actually helped for bolts, but, you know, I'm not going to be able to keep it now, or, well, I'm not going to want to keep it now.
Yeah, you don't want to keep, I mean, it looks funny. I'm sure some people like it. That's cool. They can like that. Me personally, that's no reason for me to want it. I don't even think I have it.
I probably have an extra, I don't know if they've implemented trading on that or not. This is really another really lame solution to something.
They said they did.
Someone else pointed out.
What solution to what? There was nothing wrong with that.
No. They had a trading thing. They you know, the prime trading that they implemented.
Yeah.
Dumbest decision ever. Instead of fixing the drop table issues in the void, they decided, hey, let's make everything tradable. So now all this stuff that you used to have to work for in order to really get, you can now just, you know, buy off another player, like everything else.
Oh.
So it's still pay to win. I've actually considered looking to trade some of my other random void stuff for the things I'm missing, because I can't get them after 40 plus runs of a mission and not seeing the item that I wanted. It's a little disheartening.
Yeah. Drop rate does seem to be a bit low on some things.
It's like, I don't even care about some of the other ones. I'll just point out the Ak Brocco link. Oh, yeah.
However, Paris Prime Strength.
Oh, you know, 50, 60 of them sitting around in my inventory.
Yeah.
They're the most common item in the void. I hate those things.
The Paris. I have to rank one. I have to rank both of them. I have to finish them. So I'm gonna keep most of the weapons that I have, but I think the Paris and the Paris Prime, I'm gonna sell them off so that I have a couple extra slots. Just,
Yeah, I never liked the bows. You got
I
one that
like the
worked out
dread.
well for you, and
It
it's got
took some
decent
work.
power.
It does. It's good. It's good, especially in like pod survival. It's a little less lethal to me than, say, the Ogress. But it still does a pretty decent amount of damage, especially when the arrow explodes. So that one actually worked out pretty good. The dread there.
We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
I'm gonna find a life support unit.
Yeah, I'll head for the next one. I never liked the training system in the first place. It kind of removed the novelty of some of the weapons and items, because now it's just like, if someone happened to have a couple extra at one period, they can just trade it to someone now, instead of it being an exclusive.
Well, it does help with like mods and stuff, especially when some... Like, there's some mods I've got like a stack of, and some people couldn't find them to save their lives.
Again, another drop table issue that they refuse to fix.
Well, to be fair, they did fix the, what was it, redirection and vitality?
Yeah, those were quite ungodly to find.
Those were horrible to find, but then they made them too easy to find. Somewhere in between not finding them and finding them everywhere could have been good.
You know, a medium rarity thing. And
yeah.
They also promised to make them less effective, but they never did.
I think they're good right where they are. I mean, really, because it's a quite little pain in the ass to get them ranked up. They require so much, which means that once you have one fully ranked up, I mean, you earned that.
People are whining about that too. Oh, it's so difficult to rank up QQ.
Yes, it is.
If
you do nothing, it's doubles. That's all it is. I mean, you've ranked these things before. I don't know if anyone else has looked into it. If you use nothing but redirection, say, to rank redirection, each time it takes another one. You put one into it, it ranks it, then 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024,
I don't know what it ends
2048. That's a lot. And that's just if you use the same one, and it goes up that high. I mean, it takes a while. But once you get it, I mean, like, mine's not quite maxed. I'm sitting on 1050 shields right here. And that's good. That really helps. But of course, the Volt has a ridiculous amount of shield to begin with.
Getting those maxed out, I really hope they never nerf it. Because, I mean, what are they going to say to the players that maxed all of these ridiculous ones?
Yeah, I mean, I've put a lot of time and cores into ranking this, and if they take that away, it's just going to make me feel like I wasted my time. Just a tad bit of frame lag for some reason. Speaking of frames, though, elemental damage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm pretty much in command of electricity. I should be resistant, inherently, as a Volt, to electrical damage.
To the grenadier shock traps and such.
Yeah, like the shock traps. Or just environmentally... Or not environmentally, environmental hazards for other frames, like cold to frost. I mean, if you think about it, frost summons a giant, like, blizzard inside of an ice shell. And he just sits there and is like, yeah, I'm cool.
Literally.
But, you know, you walk into an ice map and all of a sudden, oh, it's too cold for him.
And yet the enemies have no detriment to them.
But, by contrast, walking into a fire level with Ember, I feel she, you know, surrounding herself in flames all the time, should be more resistant to that. Now, on the opposite end of that spectrum, there's the matter of, well, if I'm an Ember, and I go into an ice level, I should be penalized a little more. Or if I'm a Frost, going into a level that's on fire, I should be penalized a little more, because that's not my strong point, you know? Like, the frames that have elemental abilities should have some resistances and weaknesses. As far as Volt, I think water should be his weakness. Like, say, if I'm standing in water, perhaps my attack is a little less effective, or it hurts me a little. Because I'm, you know, in water. Which is... we all know that's a bad thing. I mean...
Most definitely.
It would make sense to me, is what I'm saying.
Drop a frost... No, sorry.
It's
Drop a Volt in a bathtub.
Yeah, well, the new way to commit suicide, huh? I don't know, just... it always bugged me that going into an ice level as a Frost mostly was frustrating, because it's like, I'm a Frost, I make ice, I'm surrounded by ice, I've got... I mean, the way it originally looked, it looked like I had, like, bits of, like, cold air coming out of my elbows. I mean, it's like, he's built for the cold, and yet the ice level still bothers him.
Yeah, I always hated that. It just seemed so stupid that something like that would affect him.
Yeah,
But,
but
a
you
little
know,
bit of
like,
ice makes it.
but yeah,
Why would it bother him?
elemental things, like, what's the new one, the water one called?
That would be Hydroid.
A Hydroid. Right. Now, I would say that the fire and ice levels should also hurt him a little more. Being water, too cold, you have the possibility of freezing. That should reduce your effectiveness. Like, say, going into an ice level with the Hydroid, maybe your damage is a little lessened.
I think
You know,
actually in the
something
ice
like
levels
that.
it should be no, yeah, damage lesson, and then in the fire levels it'd be range fall off because it's evaporating before it can get too far.
Exactly. You know? Like, those could be effects, like elemental effects on him. You know, what other elements do we have on the other ones? Anything that, like, stands out?
Hey, Saren Intoxications. There you go.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I mean, they're already disease-filled. Probably be a little less effective against... That's... Uh-oh. Post-migration. I'm going to assume no.
Connection lost.
Uh-oh. That was my connection.
Connected to time and relative dimension in space.
The flame weapon should have an increased effect when used by Ember because she's channeling her own power into the weapon.
I actually started recording again.
When?
About halfway through that sentence.
Oh, okay.
It was, my connection that dropped. Somebody decided to move some furniture. Right next to the, outlet.
That's always good. Losing connection in the middle of a rant.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I was saying, Saren should not be affected quite so much by any form of toxicity, such as, you know, the ancient infested, the toxic infested, and then in the, like in the boss fight against... Oh, his name completely escapes me now. What is his name?
Yes.
He is giant Grenier, not Grenier, infested bastard. Lephantis, that's his name. Lephantis, okay, yeah. When he does his toxic stuff, it shouldn't affect her much either. And whenever she uses toxic weapons, it should increase the effect because she's a toxic frame and should be increasing the effect. Although, yeah, technically, isn't she more of a corrosive frame? It's been a while since I used her.
Saren. It says venomous attacks, so it's sort of like poisonous and toxic, so.
Well, I guess. And then the weapons like Ignis and the Ogress and such should have an increased effect when used by Ember. She is a fire frame. It should increase the effect of said weapons.
Well, you know, I don't know about that one. I mean, the weapon's its own thing.
I like the idea of
But,
synergy.
like,
Bringing together multiple pieces to form a complete whole that works together.
I mean, not every frame is, you could say, has any sort of, like, element to it. But the ones that do, it just feels silly that they're affected by some of the things they are. Like, the most notable ones, again, like Ember and Frost.
Yeah, against their respective environmental hazards, and then Bolt with lightning in the new
and then there's
shipyard.
Yeah, there's the rain, which should affect some sort of aspect.
Increase Hydroid's power, like she's absurdly strong on maps when it's raining.
He or she, I'm not really sure yet.
I'll agree with you there. Don't know.
I can't even tell just looking, like,
See, where is Hydroid? There it is.
I'd like to say...
Oh, Hydroid would be, I'm going to say it's a dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Zephyr, I would say, is a chick. Hydroid looks more like a dude.
I do not have Zephyr.
I honestly don't remember how to get her.
275 platinum. That's how.
No, I didn't buy her. I collected her. I don't buy frames. That's just stupid and a waste of plat.
You know, I still don't have Loki.
Nice. I don't even remember how to get him. Think Pluto.
Either that or 75 plat.
No, Pluto is Excalibur.
Which
I don't
started
remember where
with.
you get Loki.
Apparently I formed an Ember.
Loki, I believe, drops from Hyena, which is on Neptune.
Oh, fun.
At least I think he's on Neptune. Yeah, Samanth. Oh, there's actually, I forgot. They changed it to 3 of the Hyena style.
Is there anything else we wanted to cover?
Well...
Maybe, perhaps our absence, for one. I know my microphone broke and a whole lot of life happened.
I ran into issues with the Borderlands 2 videos and quite disheartening. I really haven't found anything else to record since then, so sorry about that. I mean, my other Warframe videos didn't get so many. They weren't overly popular, so I didn't really care to continue that.
Well, it's still a small channel, technically.
Well, even if compared against our other videos, it didn't do quite as well. And I didn't get any requests for more. So, Borderlands 2 I was doing because I was getting requests for it. I could, in theory, do other games. Just don't have any projects to work on at the moment with that.
Yeah. We could probably do some more Warframe. I'm actually capable of recording it now. So. Which is good, it's just proof of the work they've done on the game, I guess. Optimizing it.
Yeah, they've definitely done a lot of work on the visual side, and allowing even lower-end computers to operate on this game, which is great, I think.
Well,
Gets a larger range of people into it. It's beautiful, even on lower-end computers, but on high ones, it's just amazing.
Well, saying low and high-end computers, and that's actually not gonna... There it is. I mean, I'm running a pair of GTS 250s, and for recording purposes, I run 1280 720. So I don't have to deal with any of the scaling crap, but everything that I can have on is on, or I believe maxed out. Yeah, there's nothing higher than high. There's no, like, ultra settings or anything.
Nope.
Physics. I can't do tessellation, but then again, anybody who knows how old the GTS 250 is, that's a DirectX 10 card, not 11, so... Like, seriously, everything is either on or on high. And even at 1920, I mean, the game runs great. So... whatever they're doing there, it's awesome. Oh, the UI, though. The UI.
Yes, that...
Here's the funny thing, is, the thing, when they said they were getting a UI artist, I thought, geez, they're going to fix this horrid UI that's present with the solar system. The solar system map I actually like. I mean, back when the planets crashed into each other, that was just plain amusing. Look out! Jupiter and Saturn are crashing again! But, because the in-game UI, I actually liked, you know, the going around fighting. I thought it looked, you know, reasonably stylish and efficient. You know, like they said, they're programmers, so, of course, they place things logically, I would assume. But the UI here that I'm currently looking at, the solar map, the things just keep moving, and I got this floating bar which I can't get rid of. It doesn't go away. I just want it to go away at times, and I'm stuck with it. It's just here. And, like, the buttons are kinda... Well, these ones anyway, they're kinda meh, I guess? I don't know. I just thought the UI... This one was going to get changed, not the in-game one. What they did is, the numbers are huge and plain. The font is plain, like really boringly plain. I do not like looking at it. I wish I could make it go away. Forever. I mean, the fact that I can scale the UI is nice and all, but... And that's... Oh my god, the health shield bar tug-of-war thing really bothers me.
Yeah, we discussed a potential solution for that we think would look a bit better. Do a sort of health bar, similar a bit to what you have now, but without the shield aspect. And the shields would be displayed as a translucent blue overshield, basically, over the health bar that would display how much shields you had left.
So I'd like that. But whereas it's really weird because, I mean, the number is there and all, but if you have like more shield and less health, or depending on the numbers, it's like the tug of war. The center moves. Even if the center didn't move, even like it was just there in the middle. The left half is shield. Your right half is health. Cool, fine. But this tug-of-war thing where the center moves, especially if you're switching between frames, it's really bothersome. I can't say I'm too fond of that.
I never actually noticed that. Then again, I can't stand to look at it now as it is, so...
Yeah, I don't spend too much time looking at it. Just, I know if my shields have gone down by the sound of it now, so I go by that. So, yeah. Let's see. Minor annoyance with the melee. The new melee system is nice. I like it. But if I'm not in melee mode, I would still really like to be able to do a charge hit. Because that's, I shoot somebody, like I'm shooting, like say any Grenier or Corpus, and my clip runs out. I could try and sit there and go through them with my secondary, but, pulling out the swords, doing a charge, and then slicing their face off is my preferred method of finishing off an enemy. It's quick, it's simple, and I can go immediately right back to my main gun.
Yeah, unfortunately, the removal on that rendered many weapons not nearly as useful as they used to be.
Glaive.
Weapons such as the,
I think the glaive has taken a hit from that. I mean...
Galantine, oh my god.
Yeah.
I loved that sword. It was my favorite weapon, man, and now it's just... bleh.
But I think the glaive, because, I mean, the charge attack on the glaive was throwing it. But it seems to not have so much of a punch on the throw anymore. Although it made it awkward because the charge attack on the glaive was throwing it, but now there's no charge attack. But you can still throw it, but you can't throw it in melee mode, where you can charge it. So you can't charge a throw, and where is it useful? Because I didn't do a whole lot of, close quarters melee with the glaive. I threw it. Just charge and throw. I mean, that's what the charge mod did. They switched it to channeling, but that's what I had it in there for. Because it's a charge and throw. And that's where the glaive, for me, did its business. Especially in a small room, bouncing off the wall, slicing through people. But going back to it, it's not that great anymore. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, the glaive was fun. You could do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Oh.
But now...
Novelty items. I still have rifle ammo boxes.
Yep. The old restoration.
Old stuff. I actually... If I'm running a solo mission, I prefer it, because it's open, click, refill, done. It's quick, it's simple. If I'm in a group, I prefer the other one, the toss it on the floor, and it restores over time. Better in a group. Then you don't have to keep worrying about it. It's there, it's on the floor, it will refill you. Just keep shooting. Yeah. I don't have too many of those left, though. Which is sad.
Unfortunately, again, those were quite nice, and I liked using them because, well, they were relatively inexpensive and didn't require a lot of materials to... Well, they didn't require any materials, you just bought them.
Yeah, well,
Now
it took credits. But
which we have by the
thousands.
mountain.
Yeah. I can't get fusion cores fast enough to spend the money. I can't. I just can't. I wish I could, but it doesn't happen. It's a darn shame. Whoa, wait. Why am I Kasatome 1 in clan chat?
Did it break? Yeah, it broke. That's why.
That is
Similar to the way it
amazing.
does in TeamSpeak.
That's amazing. To think that they actually have a condition for if you log in twice. That is... Anyway. What else have we encountered? I don't know if there's anything we forgot to cover.
Any comments on the dojo?
I want the choice of my old rooms back. Not that I don't like the new ones.
Generation choices are cool.
Not that I don't like the new ones. I have uses for the new ones. It's just that they took out the old elevator, which blended in with the other area, but then the new elevator blends in with the new area. And it's like... I just wish that I had the option to put the old rooms in. I liked them. I liked the slightly darker feel, especially with the brown roof.
Roots.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It totally looks like Metroid, and I loved it.
Yeah, Metroid's one of my favorite game series, so I was flipping out over it. It was fantastic. Then there's... They really could just do like a generation selection on it, type 1 through something of a specific room.
Yeah, it's just...
And then we've got like 3 or 4 generations of reactors in our dojo.
I love every single reactor room that we have. I do. I do. They all look amazing. The thing is, with the bigger rooms, though, the newer ones are empty and plain. Whereas... when the dojo first came out, the rooms, the halls and stuff you had for them, there was, like, stairs, platforms, like, these little frickin' guardrails, and just design everywhere, and now it's this large, open space with nothing in it. And...
Oh, that's because they want you to decorate it yourself.
Which...
instead of them putting work into it.
Well, I mean... I have more of a desire to decorate the lower floors of the dojo, where the older halls are, because it feels more like a structure and less like a warehouse. Like, I wouldn't decorate a warehouse. You know, I would just store stuff in it. You know, I mean, a nice structure is something, you know, I go in, I decorate, you know, fish tank over here, fountain over there, you know, maybe a bush in the corner, on the ceiling, wherever. I think just actually go into the dojo. Because if I can get into the dojo, that is. Please wait.
Forever!
Yeah, pretty much. It might have broke.
Probably.
It broke. I mean, the Overwolf overlay is actually functioning, and Warframe says I'm getting a good 30 frames a second. But that's about it. Yeah, it's broke. Oh well.
Maybe if I jumped in and invited you, let's try that.
I don't think you can invite me while I'm in a please wait.
I guess. Yeah. I didn't actually pay attention to which screen you were in. No, I really just want more story in the game, because right now, we've been promised story forever, and there's nothing.
Yes. I would love story. I want to know. I want to know what happened. I mean, why? I can understand why the Grenier and Corpus hate us. We're getting up in their business and ruining it. Obviously, the humans. I'm just gonna say humans, Corpus, and Grenier. Because let's face it, the Corpus. They're just weird. The Grenier, I wouldn't call that a human. So I'm just going to say the humans, the people we've been rescuing, which I'm a little confused up on that one, because Naked Nick, as I believe they have so lovingly called him, was the guy we were rescuing. Okay.
Okay.
And then he goes into the cryopod. You know, they said Naked Nick has gone into cryosleep. And there he is. He's in the Orican artifact needing protection. Which leads me to believe that the people we were rescuing, which can't be Orican, we slaughtered them all. So the only other people that actually use the technology is the Tenno, so I would assume they'd have to be Tenno. But now we're getting a story about some sort of, resistance?
Those are the rescue targets, yeah, the Red Veil, I believe.
Which is, yeah. So, I don't, if they just say, beta, we were still working on it and didn't have the story yet, cool, I'll accept that. I mean, if they try to cover it up with something else, it seem a little fishy. I mean, the game is in beta, so if they just say, beta, we didn't have the story yet, and we were just trying out to see if the missions, if you guys like the missions, cool. Cool, you didn't have a story yet, I will accept that, and I will hope that you get a nice story for us. But they must have had something in mind going into this game, and that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. Is that story, that little bit of apparently the Tenno betrayed the Orchid and slaughtered them all. I don't know if that's from DE or if that's from just somebody speculating. I don't really like that.
That bit.
That makes us the bad guys.
That bit is actual DE.
See, that bit makes us the bad guys, which makes me wonder, I mean, does that mean, the Corpus or the Grenier are the good guys? We're the bad guys, and Lotus is the queen bad girl? I mean, if we're the bad guys, cool. just as long as I know we're the bad guys, I can fit into that. Just, I don't want to think that I'm the good guy and I'm actually not. That's weird. But no,
Isn't that how bad guys actually are? They think they're the good guy.
Yes, but
Don't you want to be a real bad guy?
no.
I do.
The story behind, like, the Grunier and the Corpus, too. I'd love to hear that. Or read it. Somebody, they could publish a book, whatever. I'll go out and read it. Or, you know, put it in a game, whatever.
Include it in some of the missions, like, Borderlands had, their little, oh, what the hell are they called? They're little data recorder things that gave you bits and pieces of the story along the way. Like, you could have a whole codex section for lore that you collect while you run missions and stuff.
Oh, you could. That would be a little weird, just Tenno history laying around like that. But it seems to me like the Lotus knows more than anything else. So if anything, the information...
Maybe she rewards you with bits and pieces.
Like, we've been doing this Tenno running around, saving the solar system for a while. Maybe it's time for the Lotus to reward us, and it's time for us to know the truth of our past. You know?
Yeah, like that.
I would like that. Because I'm not like a lot of people who are just like, you know, story, who cares, game, shoot, dead, die. You know, that's fun too, but I love the story behind a game. Like Halo. I mean, sure, you can skip all the cutscenes and still have fun, but the cutscenes, you know, the story, the history, it's all great. Especially when the Tale of Reach came out on paperback. I got that, you know, just to know what happened. You know, what's the story behind, you know, the main character and all that. But here, there's not like one main character. It's a group. It's the Tenno, you know, the Oricon champions. So why are we still here, and where are the Oricon? What did we do? Why did we do it? I mean, anybody can be like, oh,
That
yeah,
I want to know.
you just killed all the Oricon. You're bad people. Well, sure, when you put it that way, it's like, wow, the Oricon, great civilization, all this technology, you know, helped us out when we needed it, and we just were like, yeah, well, suckers, you're dead. Cool, that makes me sound like a jerk. But if there was a reason...
enough of you guys, time to die.
If there was a reason we did it, you know, greed, power, you know, they peed in our Cheerios, whatever. I want to know what the excuse is. Cheerios is serious business. But, I don't know, something.
It's just any kind of story would be helpful, because honestly, it's really boring when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of me running around slaughtering these people? What do they do?
I mean,
Are they space pigs and I'm actually a space butcher? What's going on?
Well, I mean, we get like, currently this guy is horrible and he's doing this and it's going to end up threatening us in some way, so we have to go kill a bunch of people. Okay. Spur of the moment, you know, reasons, cool, but the entire reason behind all of this, like, why do they hate us so much? I mean, the Corpus seem to be a decent bunch of intelligent people, despite the fact that they have a weird fetish for insects, it seems, judging by their robot designs. But...
and they call us the Betrayers.
yes, and they refer to Lotus in the same way. Which reminds me, do you remember the voice in the early Corpus levels was the Lotus? I you know, come to think of it, I haven't heard a ship voice anymore.
I think they might have taken that out.
I miss that.
Which I don't like, because...
I miss that. I mean, I thought it was really cool, that the ship would have, blurt out announcements and just random stuff, Like, wow, I actually feel like I'm on a ship that's occupied. Now, on, like, the derelict, or the derelict ships, not the derelict ships, the infested ships for the Corpus. I mean, if they're not having announcements, I'm sure I could understand why. Or, like, the Grenier, to have some sort of, like, announcements or something. Just something to make it feel more like a ship again. I liked that. That felt more like a ship to me. Even if there were, like, 10 rooms and that was it.
Well, in ships, major ships, a lot of the rooms are going to be similar.
Well, yes, but I mean, that's all the rooms we had. It's made it really easy to get lost. Go through the same room like 5 or 6 times on your way to where you were going.
Oh, that's if you didn't pay attention to the mini-map, which...
Oh yes, the mini-map, oh jeez. I would like to see... The up-down arrow thing is cool, but if it would just stay where it's supposed to be on the mini-map, and if it, like, reaches the end, it sticks to the edge. Like, objective this direction, it's up, down, or at the same level. But not like, it's doing this musical chairs thing, where you'll chase the point, and then it jumps to somewhere else. And then you go back towards it, and it jumps back where it was. So I end up running in circles. And if not that, then have it on the main HUD. Like, if the objective is through a door over this way somewhere, and I look at that door, have the mini-map icon just hover over the door in the distance, like there. You have to get to that door to reach your objective. I mean, yeah, it's on the mini-map, and that's sometimes helpful, but it's been a little iffy lately. As long as they don't colorize it again, I think I'm happy with the mini-map. Just the icons need to be not broken. Just a little HUD tweak like that. Have it an option. Turn it on if you want it, and leave it off if you don't. Fun stuff. Oh well.
Yeah, like earlier with that data mass, I was going up one of those Orican anti-waterfalls, I guess, the water elevators.
Where the water goes up.
And it somehow the data mass glitched and I ended up losing it. Well, it said it was on the top floor and out like 4 or 5 rooms, and it was actually at the bottom of the water elevator.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, maybe it has the same logic as items that fall into an inaccessible area. It teleports to a new location for you to collect, and it's reasonable. No, I ended up finding it at the bottom of the water elevator. Completely inaccessible.
Yeah, I had to quit out of that mission.
I also have a bit of a question regarding the dojo. When you're in the what is it called? The observatory, that one. How come you can't see the rest of your dojo out of it, and why is a rock field orbiting us? I mean, it's a big place, but it isn't that big.
This is a good question. That's the same logic applies to Corpus and Grenier ships. It's more of a wondering if maybe the game engine can possibly see what rooms have been rendered into the map. And if there's a window facing out to... I would assume they don't have any exteriors for these yet, but like create an exterior for that place. And then have it just there. Like, say if it's a few rooms back, and let's say, like the one time we had a hallway that circled around into one of those big rooms that had a window facing where that hallway would be. You know, just be able to see out and in to that other section, you know?
Instead of just empty space from both sides.
Instead of just empty space, because that is weird. That is really weird. Or just make the map not generate the rooms like that. So that I never have to try to contemplate how the ship is invisible.
maybe they got some technology from the Klingons, man.
Right. Probably have to wrap up the video for this time though, but I'm going to try
we will have more when we
I'm going to try to get some stuff put together to try to get some more videos going. I spent a lot of time trying to learn After Effects too. Got the ending sequence. A little bit of a spruce up, some animation on that. I'm gonna talk to our artist, and I'm gonna, this news to you too, Kiafis, I'm gonna see if he can draw up some stuff for me in layers so that I can use that in After Effects and get us an animated intro. Not gonna be the best,
that'd be cool.
but I'll apply what I've learned and try to get something a little more than just a static image with our logo.
I don't even remember what that image was. Wasn't that like the crab
It was
tractor or
it
something?
was that, like, Russian crab tractor. Yeah. Yeah, that was strange. It was very fitting. But, no, I think I'm gonna wrap this up because, while I have, like, a nice 15 meg download, I've got, like, a 1 meg upload. I have to compile the video, and unlike some people on YouTube who are content with, like, despite the fact that they've made so many videos that have gone right, I will sit there, then I will edit through the video, and I will watch it A to B like 3 or 4 times before uploading it to make sure that something weird doesn't happen. Or, like, the audio...
And then I'll watch it and something weird will have happened.
Yeah. And then I go back, I fix it, and then finalize it for, you know, the final upload. Not to mention, I upload all the videos in 720 HD, and I export as MP4. I try to get a high quality upload so that at least it's not so bad. This mic is actually USB instead of the sound card hookup, so sound quality is a little less on this one. It's recording at 48,000 hertz, and I had the sound card recording at 192,000. So far less samples to work with in my audio program, but it doesn't seem like I have to do too much tweaking or noise reduction on this mic, so I'll just take it with a grain of salt and be happy that there's less editing and processing I have to do. So, I will try to get us that animated intro. That will take some time, of course. I would like to get into Minecraft at some point as well, and maybe record some PlanetSide. You know,
That would be fun if we could do a coordinated operation on that.
Yeah, just for the simple fact of, you know, we're doing, like, all the jobs nobody else wants to do in that, and sometimes it's funny just to show, like, as an infiltrator, I will sit there, and at times, like, the enemy will bust out their flashlights and be looking around, and they don't see me. And I'm like, I should have been dead 10 minutes ago. And nothing. Just nothing. And then, like, the one point, oh, what is that one tech plant we like to hold? I think it's on Amarish. The one with the 4 anti-air guns. Heyoka? Yes, the Heyoka, the auxiliary compound. I sat outside next to the staircase for like 15 minutes while the enemy came through, shooting every corner inside the room, shooting every box outside the room, shooting the point itself, throwing grenades, tossing C4, blowing C4 up. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there going, I'm right here. Just sitting there. Like, not one person thought, I'll get my flashlight. And it was funny because they'd be convinced, okay, the point's good, and then they'd all walk away. One by one. You know, just like people leaving after a party. You know, then you get your straggler, and he's like, why am I here? And then he leaves. And then the point starts flashing, and it's just like somebody just like shouted, more beer, and it's everybody right there. And it's just like it just kept going on for like 15 minutes before somebody finally came through with a flashlight and shot me. Actually,
and then
once he found me, they all shot me. It's a little overkill for an infiltrator, but dragging it out.
And then the point storming and stuff.
Yeah.
No one wants to do that. Everyone just likes to hide and sit where it's safe.
It's not safe,
that
though,
incredibly
because
stupid.
you'll die once the place is captured. But no, perhaps some planet side, because planet side's a big place and it's always changing. Besides, I don't. Do they still consider it in beta? Because it sure feels like it is.
I don't know, probably.
It certainly feels like beta. It feels more incomplete than Warframe, so it's still fun. But no, I do want to do some Minecraft, definitely some Warframe. Just do some run videos. Nothing maybe this long with all this talking. But something uploadable in a reasonable amount of time. But,
quick boss fight here and there, but yeah, definitely something we should look into. I think this point is good.
yeah.
You lot have a fun day, and thank you for watching.
Yep, peace.